Chris, can we start or do we need to wait for Lynn?
No, we can get started because it's just we'll do the minutes, construction update, design update is going to be you guys. So
Right.
All
I'll,
right,
I'll shoot her a text.
Bill, you want to make a quick motion?
Make a motion to approve the February 5th working group meeting minutes.
And second, all in favor? We're in favor.
Yay.
Order approved.
We can skip construction update, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, you need an update or you good?
Is there anything of significance as far as an update?
No, I mean, everything's kind of, the facade's still rolling along. Inside, we're just working tape and board and paint in the academic wings and kind of, and tile. And then kind of just working MEPs in the D, E, and F building. So it's pretty similar to where we were a week ago.
The big update, Joe, probably is since you were last out, was the staging is down and they're starting to frame the perimeter walls of the auditorium and just really trying to bring that space together.
Okay. All right. You know what? Because I couldn't be there today, and when Aaron wasn't there and Mark wasn't there, Chip is skiing. Um, do you know if Stephanie's going to be there on Saturday?
I do not know.
Okay,
What's going on Saturday?
well, to maybe have the rest of the members committee go because there's an issue I understand with
Okay.
some doors and stuff.
Whether it's Steph or Brandon McNeil, one
Okay.
of the two of them will be here. So yeah, if that's the way we got to do it, then one of those
Yeah,
guys
we
will
can
be
see.
here to.
All right,
to work.
I'll send an email around to see if anybody's can do it, is interested, and I won't do it if it's just me, but if there are other members of the committee, when we're
Okay.
gonna if not find another time, maybe when Chip gets back too.
Okay, yeah, just let us know. Like I said, we're gonna be here Saturday either way, Bond.
Okay,
So if it works out, one of us will be here.
sounds good. All right, great.
Something else
Thank
too,
you.
little schedule related. We had Comcast walk with us yesterday. So we're trying to get Comcast and RCN. Verizon will be next to come in April and pull all their fibers and coax and everything in.
And do they agree that they're the ones that are gonna pull it, bring it in?
Yeah, Comcast said no, they said no additional cost. I just got to work with RCN to kind of to deal with what they are claiming could be potential cost. But as far as
Yeah, but it's in
we're
their
gonna,
it's in their
yeah,
contract with the town, so they
yeah, yeah.
you know.
But look for that. So in April vacation where the schools are unoccupied, they'll have their trucks, they'll need to get their trucks out on the street and do some things out there. So we're trying to just coordinate it for that time, to get them pulled into the school and then also over to the studio. So,
Good. Okay.
okay. So design update. Dave, you want to take it?
Sure. I think the first order of business is a presentation on the Hall of Fame wall. And Hillary is ready to show you some images.
So before we start, um, this is where did this come from? The Athletic Hall of Fame?
In terms
Yeah,
of
correct. This has always been in the project, Joe. We had
But
always,
there's a Wakefield Hall of Fame, not an Athletic Hall of Fame. Because
I'm not sure
uh,
yeah,
I mean
the wall
I looked
actually
at
says that. It's what we've been calling it, but
it says
Hillary can show
athletic,
you.
but
Do we
there are
use
members.
those words on the wall, Hillary?
The wall
Yeah, go ahead,
says,
Joe. Sorry.
I thought I saw it on the wall.
um, it says
well,
the Athletic Hall of Fame.
So,
Yeah, there's no athletic. I think there's just a Hall of Fame.
okay,
I think we got to make
okay,
sure about that.
okay,
Uh,
no problem. It might
the
make
reason
sense to
being is
have,
there's
yep.
that when we were talking about notable people that were, from that were, you know, that we thrown around those ideas, we mentioned this scientist, and I was told, oh, this person's in the Hall of Fame. He was a scientist. He was not an athlete. And I know that, like Rick, I looked to see who was inducted last year, and it was like, Rick Stinson, the former head of the DPW. It was not athletic. So, um,
That sounds like a different area.
yeah, and I'm not so sure that this should be in the athletic area.
The
Right,
focus
but
on
it's
this school
Uh,
is on
uh,
athletes specifically.
right.
yeah,
It's
it
gonna
might.
go on the
Yeah.
wall of the gym, and it's just for athletes.
So we could have a second one.
But how are you going to then you have two Hall of Fames?
No, 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 no. Can we walk through the
Yeah.
presentation and then can we talk about the bigger picture? Again, this is specifically the hallway that bounds the long wall of the gym. And it's always been designated in the project for celebrating athletics at Wakefield Memorial High School.
And who
So
made that decision?
I is there not an athletic celebratory moment in the existing high school that's
I
being,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
Plaques all over the place.
There's
It-
plaques, but there's
I,
no Hall of Fame.
There's a
okay,
the trophy case here and there, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
there's plaques all over the place.
Right. But I don't know if they're
They're plaques
congregated
from
in
the
one area.
existing school.
Right, that I think aren't coming back, and is this the way, well, let's
Well,
listen to the
let's get through
presentation.
this, Joe, and then we can,
yeah.
as Helen
Then we
says,
can
we can
talk about it.
respond
All
to your
right.
concerns. Take it away, Hillary.
Okay. All right, so yeah, this was the long hallway just outside the gymnasium that was held as the dedicated space for the Athletics Hall of Fame. And then on the lower right, you'll see this is just an example of the where you see the green line. This is going to be a large W that is already a part of the design scope. So it is adjacent to that wall. You can keep flipping through. I'll just kind of skim over these parts. This was just a reminder of where we're getting our graphic styling inspiration for this wall, as it pertains to what the themes for the content and the styling was for the graphics throughout the rest of the school. So this was some of that early inspiration that we collected from our visit to the historical museum with the effects of rattan and how it can be molded and shaped to represent line work. And then these are just a few examples of some of the graphics throughout the school, just as a reminder of kind of the look and feel of what will exist in the space. And some very, very early precedent images that we collected for athletics specific were areas where we could take the plaques, and the items that commemorate these athletes and sort of repurpose it into a space that it is really special and meaningful for them. So a couple considerations. This is owned as the high pressure laminate material, which will be most of the graphics throughout the space as well. And yeah, again, it's really just meant to sort of have an integrated look with everything else that has been designed. So this is just a very quick rendering, and I will note that this was just from a quick model screenshot, so you're going to see a lot of materials in here that might not reflect accurately. But we have sort of this long corridor, so the idea for this graphic is really to bend the Wakefield red around the wall and kind of draw your eye down. And on the right-hand side, I know you'll see the TV there that has since been located to the left wall where you're seeing it underneath the Fieldhouse sign. And so we have a series of slides that just kind of start to dive in a little deeper on what the graphic actually is showing. So taking that line work inspiration, we've applied it to athletics specifically. And so you have all of the lines from all of the sports that represent the Wakefield High School program. So you have track, tennis, baseball. Here you'll see basketball, volleyball, field hockey, football, wrestling, and it kind of carries down the hallway. You'll also see four words: leadership, character, honor, and courage. Those are the four words that were pulled out of the Athletics Hall of Fame nomination form. And then moving down further towards the second entrance for the gym, this is really the area that's going to hold all of the content and the space for the specific people. So you can actually flip to the next slides because we have some close-ups that are easier to
Gotcha. Okay.
dive into. So a slightly more zoomed in look. This gives you an idea of the paneling system that has been created. So it starts with the title. It gives you the criteria for being inducted into this Hall of Fame. There are some inspirational quotes from people who are actually named here, who have gone on to have their own success. For example, on the far right, we have a quote from an field hockey two-time Olympian who was a graduate from Wakefield Memorial High School. So you can flip to the next one. We'll get a little more sort of dissection of what we're looking at here. So again, it's the Hall of Fame criteria, and then each of the narrow panels is each of the years that are collected for the athletes. And then there are the larger panels with the four words: leadership, character, courage, and honor, and that provides a more in-depth description of what those words actually mean. So here's a snip of the left-hand side of the panel where you can start to see how the list of names cascades on each of those narrow panels. Those would be, I believe it's 8 by 16 panels, each for a unique year. And then if you keep clicking. So then as you kind of move to the right, the last date that we were provided was 2017. And so basically we've designed a system that will be flexible and allow for future years. And each of those additional panels that are not filled in yet include imagery that relates to the wall. And then if you click to the next slide, and then some of the panels as well include other words that were taken from the descriptions of, in this example, courage and honor. So that is really, yep, and that's the last panel. So that's really like a quick overview of everything that exists within that like framed area. But again, the whole style surrounding is meant to match in material and aesthetic to the graphics in the school. So the back layer would be the custom print high pressure laminate, and then we would actually void the HPL surrounding the smaller panels. So that would be a painted drywall where the flexible smaller panels would be cleated directly to the drywall so that there's no damage to the HPL panels, which would void the warranties.
Anyone have any questions?
So just, I looked quickly and I looked again, just in the background, you said there's different representations of the different sports, like there's a outline of some track lines, and do you have a soccer field on there?
Yep, so if you click
Okay,
back,
just make sure you have all the sports, I get, or whatever, whoever's
yeah, I
represented.
went through the
Double check
schedule
it.
that was available on the Wakefield website to determine what that list was, but I definitely would love to double check and make sure we have everything.
Yeah,
Double check.
there's
Yeah,
swimming,
just
and
say-
everything. Yeah.
Yep, there's swim. If you
Right.
actually click to the next page, here is lacrosse, swimming, golf,
Okay.
hockey, soccer, softball, track, and I think the top right one is like gymnastics.
In the graphics in the background, though, like you see how the football field is in the top left of the red,
Mm-hmm.
and then to the right, there's something. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
those are all the sports that I just listed are
They're all in that related to
all
that.
of the
Okay.
sports I listed are a part of the line work
Okay.
portion.
You mentioned 2017 was the last year. So does
Yeah.
this mean that it's been almost 10 years that our current high school has not performed any sort of Hall of Fame ceremony? Is that what this is telling us?
They've had Hall of Fame ceremonies, but it's not athletic. There's Hall of Fame ceremonies for
So let me rephrase my question. Eh, do we know if there's an athletic hall, like why we don't have anything current? Like there's no 2002 on these pictures, and maybe because it's just a quick representation. We were joking that maybe no one good was playing sports in 2002, but so since 2017, like where did you get these names? Are there current panels in the school that have like all those names in that 2017 box listed somewhere?
This was I don't know if Helen you can also touch on where
Yeah, Mike
this was a
Murphy.
PDF.
Yeah, Mike Murphy was able to provide us all the content. And to answer your question, Phil, about why the gap, I'm not entirely sure. I think we'd have to check with Mike Murphy about that.
Yeah, like I'm little like I don't yeah, like the gaps and then just like what's happened since. Like we have
Yeah.
I think I saw we have enough squares to get to 2048. Does that include like 2018? So there's 30 spaces open effectively after 2017, or like the next box would be 2026. I'm just curious if whether or not they have been having an athletic Hall of Fame since 2017, I guess, but
I mean,
maybe that's a
yeah.
Mike Murphy question.
Yeah, no, it's a fine question. I mean, because if there is, we certainly would want to fold it into the design.
And if there isn't, is this important enough to do a whole wall about? And I say this after a ton of effort, so I'm not trying to depress anyone at this hour, but like just to probably where Joe's going to go, just like what led to this effort. If it's not if they don't do this anymore, then
Yeah.
it's good to know because maybe we don't need 30. Maybe the 30 spaces could be used for something else. So just the clarification there would be
Okay,
helpful.
yeah, we'll find that out. I mean, our understanding was that it is a program. They still do it. I don't know why the gap. I don't know if there was some COVID situation. But yeah, it's a question.
All right,
Okay.
Helen, I
Yeah.
Googled. All right. After looking at this, I Googled at it because I saw athletic. And the Hall of Fame is not athletic. It is athletic and others. So this is what's confusing here. And they have had it up until 2025. Actually, I think they may have even had one this year. I'm not sure. But at least I saw the 2025 Hall of Fame. Now, can we blow those up again? Maybe
Yeah,
look at
that's what I was looking for to see if there's
any names in there that are not.
Yeah.
Dan Blanchard was a teacher. Okay. I'm not so sure.
It
I
No, this
can't
isn't
read it.
Wakefield.
It's very hard to read.
would it makes yeah, okay. Well, would that
gotta
conversation make
talk
sense to
we've
have
gotta
when we
talk-
have Mike Murphy available?
Yeah, I think
But
we're missing
Phil, we
some
also have to
intel.
have Doug because I know there's another Hall of Fame. And why are we going to have two Hall of Fames?
Well,
That doesn't
okay.
make sense. I mean, you don't have two Wakefield Memorial High School Hall of Fames. One athletic, one non.
Helen, do we have a non-Hall of Fame in the
There
project?
is not. No, there was never one conceived. So I guess we'd have to go all the way back to the start of the
Paul
project and
Lazaro
look
was
at.
the treasurer of the town. Let's see. No, I mean, yes, there are people that were involved in athletics, but also there's a Hall of Fame, like,
It's on the website.
The 2025 one, I didn't see any athletes. So I just don't. it's kind of confusing here. Why don't we just have one?
I'm confused now too. I thought we were discussing solely athletic inductees, so I don't know.
Has the only person you guys talked to was Mike Murphy?
No, I mean Mike Murphy, Amy, and Tim O'Brien were all involved in these conversations most
So Joe,
recently.
since this is all graphics around athletics, why can't we have that as part of the gym area and then the rest of the hall and don't
An
necessarily
extension.
call it athletic Hall of Fame, just Hall of Fame, and then
I agree.
another quarter have all the other Hall of Famers.
I'm just thinking that it doesn't, it's confusing. Because do you have two Hall of Fames? And maybe the
We
reason
don't.
we stopped at 2017 is because they decided because is the other Hall of Fame. That's what I'm wondering. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to this.
I don't think any of us do. Okay.
Like a theatrical Hall of Fame, like a musical Hall of Fame. Like, is that what you're saying, Joe? Like, it's probably academic Hall of Fame. Like,
No, there's individuals that
No.
were named that are prominent individuals. That when I was throwing out some prominent town people, and I
Yeah.
mentioned there was a
2017. Yeah,
I mentioned there was a
2017 as
Phil,
Scott Brown. That's what we found. Yeah,
Phil, there was a scientist who was
I think
a
so.
preeminent scientist,
Yeah,
and
Scott
I was
Brown.
well, he was an athlete.
No, but if you knew, when I Googled, because you said you Googled, the last thing I found was a 2017 article talking about these names being inducted in the Wakefield High School Athletic Hall of Fame. But there's nothing current on Google, seemingly from my phone in this trailer. So it's not a full check. I wonder if the school stopped doing it.
Right. And I Googled it, and there were the 2025 recipients. One of them was Rick Stinson.
There's a guy who plays for the Nets. What's his name? Bruce Brown. Oh, yeah. Right. Like
There's a lot of athletes, but there's also it's very confusing to have, two Hall of Fames, I think. And I wonder if by 2017 they stopped it. And now they made it for everyone.
Okay. So
why don't we get clarification?
Yeah, is this a Doug question? I think I'll reach out to Doug and Amy on this.
Yeah.
We were given to believe and understand that this was solely athletes, so it's perplexing to us as well. So we'll get to the bottom of it.
Because I know there's another. When I Googled it, Phil, I didn't I didn't use the word athletic. I used the word Wakefield Hall of Fame, and there was an induction ceremony at the Sheridan last year on 2025 with 5 or 6 different individuals. One of them was Rick Stinson. I didn't write down the others because I don't think he was named there because of his athletic abilities.
Okay, so we need to do some more homework then.
So
Yeah.
Helen, there is on their Wakefield Public Schools website under athletics, there is a Hall of Fame nomination tab where you can submit anyone you want, but it doesn't give a year or anything on it.
Okay, so we'll check with Doug and Amy, and we'll get back to everyone.
And if there's another Hall of Fame, we just combine these instead of just making it just Hall of Fame, not athletic.
Absolutely. If that's what the content provided is, then
I think it looks great, but
yeah, it looks great.
It does, but if it's not solely athletes, then the background doesn't exactly add up, unfortunately, because Hillary did an amazing design.
She did. Sorry,
Hillary. Jinx.
Yeah. You put this in your portfolio or something. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, this is again. It just
you can keep the athletic and add some other things like
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll just keep adding to it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is
need another wall somewhere else.
No. We will get to the bottom of this. There are no other walls. All right. Wow. Okay. That was informative. We'll work on this.
We know what to do. So let's move on to the next item.
So there's a few other items that Hillary has to talk to you about.
The next slides where we ended. So section goes over some of the proposed placements for dedication spaces. For example, the Dennis O'Leary cafeteria. We're trying to basically mock up what a couple placement options are for that signage.
So Joe, I know before in one of our tours, we talked about putting his name on the menu board,
Right.
but we found
That was
some,
Doug's idea.
we found two other locations
That was
that you
Doug's
might be
idea
interested
to
in.
not have it permanent, to have
Yeah,
it
let's-
found that
Well,
was Doug's idea.
let's
Okay.
see what Hillary has shown,
Yeah.
and then we can discuss it. So I think it's the next slide.
See,
Who's running the show?
me. Sorry, I was just actually
Nathan.
texting Tim O'Brien on this whole situation, but go ahead.
All right, so just a couple options. The one on the left was what we landed on as the preferred, but this would be an area that faces the cafeteria seating space on the learning stair, which would just be some small raised acrylic painted letters that are also a little bit more subtle. So they blend in with the wall, but the raised material gives it its effect. The other option on the right was replacing the sign that currently says servery with the Dennis O'Leary cafeteria.
I would talk to, I think we should talk to Doug, because he was the one that was talking about it, having it in the servery area and not in the main, because this common area is not just cafeteria. It's it's kind of like a common area for other things too. I
Yeah,
think that was Doug's point.
There's definitely a case for that as well.
Yeah.
Our idea for all of the spaces was to kind of match them in their treatment and design beyond the cafeteria as well, which was why we were exploring also it not being on a digital display. But yeah, if it's more relevant to the servery space, then the idea on the right could.
I mean, I'm just going by what Doug said when we took the tour with him.
Yeah, we can, well, I know Amy and Tim saw this. I don't know that Doug did, so we can circle back.
I like the one on the right, and to Joe's point, we're not calling it a cafeteria, are we?
No,
I
it's
thought,
not,
why do I think
Well,
this was
wait a
called
minute.
something
Wait,
else?
that's what's in the letter that Doug wrote. That's the issue.
Oh,
We are
right,
working off of that letter.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have a cafeteria now, but with this, I don't know, it's like auditorium versus gymnasium, right?
We'll get there. Yeah.
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 I like the one on the right though.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like the one on the right. I think Doug might, because it's not, as into the common area type of, that it's more toward the servery.
Yeah, another consideration as well was just sort of the viewpoint as you enter the school, was to not immediately have that as something that you read where you feel like you're kind of walking into the cafeteria. The one on the left was meant to be more like once you're in that space, it's visible to you. So that's just another consideration as sort of how you're entering the school.
So that is a question. We were being literal and taking the words out of Doug's letter and what you took to town council, right? But can it be called the Dennis O'Leary Commons? Can
Or
liberties be taken?
In memory of Dennis Leary.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
Talk
I
to
know
Doug.
I know these pictures are rough. These pictures aren't like as built. I understand they're just representations for the sake of the placing of the words. But a question, in the picture on the left, the large white box that's to the right of the stairs up high.
That's for the video wall.
We will have a video wall there.
Yes.
And will it be that big?
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why the glass goes up, bumps up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think you got to talk to Doug about it, because that's, I'm just going by what Doug said when we did the walkthrough.
Okay.
All right.
Will do.
Even though that was, what was stated in the in the letter to town council, but, just, I would confirm with him on that.
Okay. We will.
And the others?
Yep.
Okay, next.
All right, so the next one was the auditorium, which was
no
the one
name.
that did not have a name.
It does not.
And it'll remain just
It's going to be
nameless.
nameless,
Okay.
as far as I
And-
know.
Oh,
And so, right, and it's right, because it was the savings bank.
It
We're
is not going to
removing
be
that.
it is
We
not
are
going to be the
correct.
savings bank.
So do we want it to say auditorium? I don't know. Go ahead, Hillary. You had a couple of.
yeah, I mean, that's a whole conversation. These are just to illustrate the two locations that we found closest to the entry doors. So that one on the left would be more visible in view as you're approaching, just above the TV, and then the one on the right would be a vertical oriented option. And we just wanted to make a note that that option is dependent on the length of the name, so that it fits.
Do you have to tell people it's an auditorium?
Well,
That's a
it's a
good question.
If it
placeholder
doesn't have a name.
until we get the real words. That's what it's a
All
representation
right, well,
of where the letters should go.
Kellen, where are we going to put the plaque that talks about the savings bank and the donation that was made and everything? Remember, that's one of the questions that we've been having.
Right, and was another discussion around that was using the TV to display that, right?
Yeah, but then nobody liked that one. Nobody liked that idea.
There are display
Remember,
cases to the left of the
remember,
TV.
nobody liked the idea of the TV being
I,
a rolling
I don't
set of
remember.
names.
I honestly don't remember that no one liked it, Joe. But maybe that was the case.
Yeah, I think this is still a question, right? Because
Yeah,
so
it is
we are
still a
not,
question.
again, once what's in the project right now are replicating the tags that would be mounted to seat arms, right? And so if we are not doing that, what is the alternative?
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought having it on the TV was the last.
I thought some
discussion.
sort of
No.
digital representation of all those chair names was the
Right.
last discussion.
Yeah,
I like the
right.
one on the left, by the way, because vertical words drive me crazy trying to read them. It almost like a crossword puzzle. So I just think in general, to answer the question, I would prefer the one to the left.
Okay. That is
In
solid
terms of
feedback.
what's the
Thank
question
you.
at hand?
Yeah, that is
Auditorium.
the question at hand, but Joe now put part B on there, and we're back to, how we're honoring the former
Right.
donors. So,
It is having them on the TV screen totally out.
There are many people in the committee did not like it.
okay.
I
And
know
why,
Chip didn't like it. John didn't like it.
and
Jason didn't like it. There was a group of didn't want to see the names like scroll because there's so many
Okay.
names that there would
Sure.
just be a simple little plaque, nothing crazy, just acknowledging it.
Okay.
And that I thought that's what people would come to, but we will confirm that
Okay.
at our next
And
meeting.
are the tags on the arms of the chairs out? Because again,
was
that is in the
John's idea.
project. That is in the project right now. So,
I think not putting them on the new chairs should be out. I thought we discussed
Oh yeah, that's
that.
out.
Not putting not replicating name tags on the new chairs is out, but
Yeah,
in
that was
some
out.
way, possibly, I thought recognizing those names. I thought we talked digital because that was the easiest way because there's so many names.
Yeah.
And just have it scroll back through the windows. I don't remember. I know John made a comment about having like a whatever, but I
Yeah,
think it's
Chip made a
worthy to
comment,
just to
too.
confirm that conversation at our next meeting, Joe.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah, like just because that would be the screen. There's nothing. What's to the left of that wall? There's not like a display case somewhere on this wall. I'm trying to. I thought we had originally thought about because then we had talked about maybe doing something in the same space about the savings bank being the first.
that'll
No,
be
that's gonna be in the financial area.
right.
Yeah, that's different.
There's a section of wall that we've identified for that, and we'll need content for that. So I don't know who can write that up for us. But yes, that is also in play. I think
What's
there's
what's the wall on the, looking at the one with audit, the auditor, the larger one? What's on the right? You have like a box there. What's that?
I think that's a display case.
Is that the display case?
I'm not sure. Helen, do you know?
There was a display case right
I
next to the door.
don't. I'd have to pull open drawings and I'm on my phone, unfortunately.
Yeah, because if we
How's
put,
the floor
you could put a little plaque like in between the, that other wall in there, like, maybe that, there's
Yeah.
a display case, that might be the best way. I don't know. We'll have to go over this.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Confirm.
a plaque would definitely be treated differently than like signage approaching the
So-
space, so we can
To the
determine.
right of the door is a display case, and then if you go past the
Okay.
TV screen, there's like
There's room
not
over there.
miles, but there's several display cases.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
8 to 10 display cases in
Oh,
a
wow.
row.
Yeah, that's why I thought we were talking about putting in something in one of those display
Yeah, I
cases,
remember
like some
that
sort of
too.
plaque explaining the bank's history. It was the first, and
No,
then at
that's-
that point,
No, Phil,
some
that's
sort of some
that,
sort of thing with the names, though, with the chair names. Like we were gonna use the same
Right.
space and just tuck it all in the same area of somewhere.
no, they were talking
Can you
about
make a
putting
plaque with the actual plaques from the chairs attached to it?
Right. How would they get wrecked when you pull them off?
It's
I think
really
you can
thin.
snap those little grommet
Those little-
things off.
Yeah.
Rivets. You have to drill out the rivets.
Sounds like a budget buster.
Yeah, it's probably easier just to make it all new.
Bill, the bank thing was I think Amy talked about it being near that financial learning center.
Yeah, it's
Room.
across the way, and there's no representation in this slideshow because we need content for it. We need someone from the school or this group. I don't know who can write up a brief description of the history.
Joe, who do you know that likes history?
Fortunately, that bank people still are wanting to talk. So we were supposed to meet actually on Wednesday, but they couldn't meet.
Okay.
And we were going to be letting them know what the story was. So there's a whole bit of it being the first educational bank, and there's a whole
Yeah.
article about it and everything. So we can find
Right.
that.
So we need to come to an agreement on what we're gonna provide them in terms of like, hey, just to let you know, we're gonna provide fill in the blank to show your history here. So
Yeah,
that
that's-
sounds like it's a conversation that our group needs to finalize, Joe, if there's any confusion about that, about what exactly we're going to do to recognize.
That is correct.
Okay.
So we'll do that again in the next meeting as well.
Okay. And then I think there's just one more option, one more
Yeah.
name to look
That
at.
looks
Oh, no,
great.
two more. Sorry, two more.
That looks great.
Which
That's
one?
perfect.
Left or right?
The library.
Yeah,
The
which
left.
one?
Okay,
I
good.
Oh, don't you? I like that. I like that a lot.
Keep
I
it.
like the one on the left.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be aware that when you're coming out of the library, you will see the words backwards, the letters backwards, or yeah.
So be it.
Okay, just that bothers some people. It didn't bother Amy or Tim, so
Yeah.
Not
Well,
vertical though, so
It's
now
not
there you
vertical.
go. It's
Not
not
vertical.
vertical.
Well,
So
it's a
Phil
good
can
point,
read it.
Ellen.
let's
It's a
make
good
it
point. So
vertical
Hillary,
and backwards.
yeah, I know. So Hillary, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the words on the wall in your world? Like, what would you?
So,
Please
I did include that option on the right because the line work in that graphic is actually has dedications to Governor Volpe, and part of his legacy. So I was just more directly tying the name of the space to that wall. But I think as a wayfinding element, having it above the doors makes more sense.
Can you
Does the
put that
transom
line
does that
graphic
need
on
to be a
the,
glass transom? Is it too late to change something like so? That's a glass. transom over the door, like, does that have to be glass? Is it too late to change that?
It could remain glass and then you put a film,
Like, just
Yeah.
put something behind it so you
Yeah.
don't see the backwards letters?
right?
We could.
We could apply a film to the backside.
Yeah, we
Oh,
already
no.
have a graphic film going on the lower panels, so we can carry across the top as well.
Can you take that line work and add it to the wall to the right of the door there?
Did I ask about that too?
Sorry, where are
To the
we?
right of the left image, that wall that we had talked about.
The door opens on.
Oh yeah, so that again, just kind of from like a wayfinding perspective, you don't notice it when you turn at that sort of intersection just down
Yeah.
the hallway and identify the library space until you're actually standing in front of the door. So from like a legibility and viewpoint perspective, we felt directly facing the signage made the most sense.
And that's a different, obviously you're representing two different walls for the naming. Is there,
Yeah.
what other entrance is the one on the right with the wood door? Is that on the far side of the, like,
No,
you know
you're
what I mean?
in the library
Yeah, so this is
already.
actually within the library. So on the
Yeah.
right, you're across from
Oh,
the
okay. Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a different approach to Hillary's point. You
Yeah.
know, it's you're already in the library and you know, you
Yeah, that's why I think the other one works better than
okay,
the people entering the library.
okay, that's clear.
Next,
And last. So
Not
there's
a
only
field
one
house.
option.
It's not.
Um,
It's
so
not a.
this-
I was reprimanded because it's not a field house.
yeah, it's not a field house. It should be a gymnasium.
Okay, here we're taking liberties again because that we took it right out of the letter. So just bear
But
with
it-
us.
I'm
But
just
yes,
telling you.
it should be gymnasium. It should be gymnasium.
Yeah.
We agree. We concur.
So Joe, we got to confirm this with Jonathan Shines. They
I was going to
approved,
say you have to go back to town council now, guys.
they approved very specifically this name with the field house or the other name, right? Like, so if we take the liberty to change it to make it correct, we're not following their directive. And so I think we have to bring this back
Yeah.
to
No, we
them and
don't.
say, listen,
No, we
like
don't.
the
No,
field
we
house,
don't.
it's not a field house.
It's not a field house.
Right,
It's
and
the
the other,
name.
what's the other one? The cafeteria isn't in a
Yeah.
cafeteria, and just make
Right.
sure that the town council says we're okay with that as long as you keep the person's name in it. Like, we just
Right,
need, I think,
right.
them to bless it, so none of us get, none of us in trouble, but just,
Yeah.
I don't want to be chastised that we didn't follow their direction as they
We'll talk to
voted.
Jonathan, but I'm sure there's not going to be a problem.
Okay, so
It's just not a field house. That's all.
yeah, no,
I was
no, agreed.
reprimanded by everybody when I was said that.
We agree. We agree. We'll.
I don't know
that'll
what the
become
difference is
gymnasium.
myself, so I have no clue.
Yeah.
Sure. You need like an
You
actual
don't track.
field. Yeah.
You
Okay.
need
Which
what?
that graphic does show a track, and that's the only kind of. I will say, like, we don't have a track in there.
Yeah, we don't
and
have a
that was-
track.
That could be the outdoor.
No,
So,
but it's this.
We
it's
lost
a
the
sport.
track.
It's a sport you play. That was the
For the
whole.
Outdoor track.
Oh, okay. We don't want to
Yes,
put like
exactly.
basketball because it's mostly going to be used as a basketball court.
Yeah, really.
basketball is on this wall. It's just further
That's the
down.
Hall of
Just
Fame
it's
wall
further
there.
down the
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
so
is that
this is
long
the
right.
this is
where
the
we
left
started.
this is the
Yes.
left
Got it.
starting point
Yeah.
of the
Right, got it.
athletic wall.
All of this
Yeah,
may be a moot point
The Hall of
if
Fame
this
in
is in
question.
fact the Hall of Fame for everything beyond athletics. So there we are. But I think we have a good list of what to do next. So we
Fantini Hall of Fame. Sounds good.
So we'll bring this back at the next working group. I assume you guys want to see the next round.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Or-
All right.
You don't want to have the same conversation with the PVC before we.
We're going to
And then
have
have the
it on the
working-
full meeting. Yeah.
I
We
know,
are.
but we don't have another. Do we have another working group meeting before the next
No.
full
Same
I
meeting?
day.
believe it's the
day
same
of.
day. It's the
Oh,
same
it's the same
day.
day? Oh, okay.
It's the
It
same
is.
day.
All
It
right,
is.
fine. All right. We'll do it in the working group meeting then.
We do it in the what?
And
We'll
the
do it in
working
the
group?
next working group meeting and at the full PBC.
Okay.
They're on the same day.
The 19th, Hillary, for your reference.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have some regrouping to do in between with Doug, especially. But okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for Hillary?
No?
Hearing none. All right. Thank you so much, Hillary.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Hillary.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Okay, next item are gym banners. So the project includes reusing the existing gym banners and flag, bringing them over, having them installed into a clip system that we have as part of the project. When I met with Mike Murphy last year regarding the banners, trying to figure out where he wants them, he said he doesn't want to use the existing ones. He wants to get new ones. We just want to get a confirmation that that is the direction that we're going in, because we need to include the purchasing of those banners as part of the project.
Do we know the cost?
We don't. Mike has his own vendor that he's going through, so would have to ask him.
Yeah.
Do we have a budget line item?
No, because we were just going to use the old
No,
ones.
because it was always part of the project to reuse the existing.
Correct.
Yeah. Why aren't we reusing the existing? Are they?
They're probably
Tattered and
He
worn?
wants to consolidate them and update them. And also part of reusing existing is they'll have to be sent out to be fire treated to comply with the code for hanging fabrics in the new building. But more importantly is his he just didn't want these old banners in the new gym. He feels he can consolidate them, update them, and get rid of like a lot of them that are hanging currently.
So we need Mike Murphy to present with us the cost,
Yeah.
and then we can discuss.
And if that's approved, then we need to add to the project, and then there's another step of coordination of where he wants them, what order.
Right, we don't know how many we have yet. Yeah,
Right.
so he needs to get us the cost like yesterday.
He may have it, but
Yeah.
I know he had selected a vendor and he was working with them, but
Yeah.
who pays for him?
Oh, is it a state vendor? Is it
I'm not sure, Joe. I think he said
I
he might
mean,
have said
I
it
don't
to
want to
me.
get in trouble.
Right.
I mean, it has to be,
Procurement wise, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it may, I don't know what the cost is, and I wouldn't assume it, but a certain number, doesn't it have to go out to bid and things like that? Or is it on a state approved list that we can just get them?
We
just
asked Tim
can't have-
O'Brien to fill.
It's unless if he has
follow-up
like
on
an
this.
existing service contract with a vendor, then you can sole
For
source it that
banners?
way.
It
Yeah, you
sounds
never,
like
yeah.
It sounds like he knew somebody.
Oh, maybe so low. Is this a Tim O'Brien action item then? Does
Yeah,
he
I
need to
think
follow up, or is this a design team? Does he follow up, at least get us answer these questions for us?
we can reach back to Tim and Mike and let them know that we raised the issue with working group, and they you all requested more information about cost, procurement, what the relationship is with its Team Fits Graphics. I do remember that. I don't
And
know.
then your timing of when SMMA needs to know for all those next steps you said after we do have a decision, like when you need a decision by.
Yeah, the bond will need to know when they're coming in and what order and when to install them.
Yeah. I suspect we have a bit of time on this, but
Yeah.
certainly we want to, get it resolved as well.
Where do we have the floor going down? July.
June, I was just saying to June. Okay.
Not that we couldn't hang them with, you
Yeah,
know, on the floor, but, okay.
Okay.
Okay, next item, it's not on this list, but it's, if, Chris, if you can pull up that PDF I sent you. It's regarding the, on
Yeah,
site, we have two large, well, one large, one smaller Ws. These are steel letters that are fabricated and then painted. We just want your blessing on, the color selection for these. It should be
Just
pretty
searching
easy.
for it here. Hold on.
Once we get this up, we can talk about it.
Come on, where is it?
So the large one is closer to the field, and the smaller one is in the courtyard between A and E.
These are outside?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, okay.
These have always been, obviously.
These have always been part of the design. It's just, I just want a blessing from the working group that the colors are correct or appropriate.
Opening now. Give me a sec.
Gotta feed the mice. What? Look at that. The mice are in the computer, turning the wheels. Was it hamsters?
Yeah, with hamsters.
Gotta include the mice.
All right, Dave.
Nice is where you test like sunscreen.
Yes.
Okay, so
Maybe.
in the upper left, the large W is at the circle.
Those are gonna be jungle gyms.
Yeah, you can zoom into the W's. That would show the scale. So one is I think it says 7.6 high, and the other one is 4 something.
4.6 or something like that.
So the one on the left, we were gonna paint red, the Wakefield red, and then the one on the right, we're gonna paint gray. And if you go back to the plan, you can see that the large W is on the upper right circle. It's right by the field. There's some seating, built-in seating there. And then on the bottom is the smaller one.
Sorry, stop zooming in. Who's zooming in and out? Getting
Chris.
busy.
Me.
Stay in one place, please.
All right.
Oh, all right, hold up. So where's the street? Where's the
Up top.
Up top.
where's the
Up here.
field? So this is all within the
Plan-
pedestrian
plan
way,
north.
Yes.
and then the commons in the back under the sun sails.
Alright.
Why okay. The font has to be approved. That doesn't look like an approved W font. So Jen
not-
McDonald probably has to tell you if there's an option. I don't know how you do fonts with 3D steel structures, but that could be an issue, that if the W doesn't match the W that's supposed to be used for the town of Wakefield. And do we really need Ws?
This is part of the design.
It's the
I'm just
first time I'm
looking
seeing
for a
this.
color
Red.
confirmation.
Well, where's the color of slide?
I have a color right here. This is the Wakefield
That
red,
Wakefield red?
right? And then there's also a gray that was approved with the town to be used in the signage.
Well, they wouldn't be gray.
What?
You never see them.
Where,
Blend, you know what I mean?
I'm a little confused as to this location again.
Okay.
Where's
So the
Farm
field
Street?
is the big white space.
Field is
Yes.
this right here. Like,
So I
field would
clipped
be
off
here.
the field because of the size of the image,
You got it,
but
yeah.
the white
This would be
space
field.
above the top red circle is the field.
Oh, so that's so the white area is the track, the track.
Yes.
This whole area
Yes.
here.
Are they backlit? Are these things lit from
No,
within?
it's just a giant
Steel W.
steel W.
I feel like it's like I don't know why I keep on thinking of Sesame Street here, but today's letter is W.
I don't recall ever seeing these.
I don't ever remember ever seeing these in the whole time we've been discussing this project, but without, I would say red and not gray, because gray would get washed, I think, looking from afar, you wouldn't, if you're at the street on the other side of the
Well,
field,
the top one is gonna be red.
the top one is
And
red.
the giant one that's next to the field will be red.
No, they both should be red.
And the
This one, that
one,
might blend in with the masonry though, right over here, if it's
the masonry is reddish, so
Why is
gray
there a
would
W there?
down here.
Who needs a W in the back commons? Everyone knows, like, what's the,
it's part of the
sorry,
design.
it's late,
I can
but
get
I'm
you
just,
the exact.
yeah, like, do we have to do a W? Just because it's been in since the beginning, like, I don't remember seeing this. Like, we say, you know what, we don't need a W in that commons. Could we delete it?
You could.
Did we ever have a picture of what the big W looks like from the street?
I can see if we have some renderings of that.
I think that's what it is. All the renderings of all
Yeah,
that. just
I'd like to
more
see a
general with
rendering.
people and cars and,
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I-
Why don't we see a rendering of it? Because like you said, like Phil said, I don't remember it ever seeing it.
So the color choices for the one in the back, you're saying? If there has to be a color, I would vote red because it's more striking.
Okay.
But I honestly don't think we need the small W in the back. I think there's not a lot of value on having that W there. The one up front is because the public will see it, I guess. I don't know, still don't understand why we need the one in the front, but if we need them, I don't know why we need the one in the back at all. No one's seeing it unless you're using that common.
Right.
'Cause-
Yeah, you'll see
right?
it.
Like you can't see that from the street. Like when we do our tour, we don't see anything in there until we turn the corner and we're in there, right? And then we get that view of that whole area.
Hmm.
So like, and you're gonna
Yeah,
see
from the
it from
parking lot up
inside the
above.
school. There's that huge glass wall. So when you're in, you're looking out. But even then, like, why do you need to see a W? You know where you are. Okay.
All right. That's
Yeah,
all I
let's-
had.
For the
We-
next
we-
working group, but see if we can give us, a rendering as to what they look like.
Okay,
All right?
will do.
What's the deduct if we get rid of the W's would be good to know.
The cost of the banners.
And it would cost the banners. I was just gonna say that, Joe. Trade you two W's for a banner. The environmental
I think
graphics
it's
people
an
don't like to see
Instagram
it.
moment and it's decorative and I mean, you have these everywhere now.
What projects have you had that they've done letters
They're
like
all
you
up,
did
if you go
Waltham?
by Fenway Park and all that, they have the numbers and
Right, but
just-
that's Jim Rice. That's David Ortiz. That's for reasons of sports. The W, we know what the school is. There's a sign behind the big
they
W
do them in
straight back.
airports now. They do everything. It's just for selfie.
What
pics
high
and
school?
stuff.
What high schools have a letter in the front is my question. I guess that can be answered maybe at the next meeting. Like any projects you
we can
guys
get
have
some
done that
pictures
you
of
have a
stuff.
picture would be
Yeah.
great. Like the Lexington do a big L in front of their new high school. The Newton North do an N. Like
That was a tough one.
I've never seen it. I've been to a bunch of high schools because of track with my daughter. Like I've never really looked, but it kind of shows you that it doesn't offer much value, I think. For the
I will
money.
find out. We've done this at other
Yeah, in
projects.
college, I don't remember in high school.
Yeah, just we get a rendering too.
Compare years ago to now. So
No,
we
but-
will get some more information
All right.
and present it at the next meeting.
Is the vote
Great.
doing one?
No, they have
Yeah, the
that.
big V.
They have the giant.
They have the-
The big V.
This is not 16 feet tall.
You can't see it though from the trees.
No, like
in the
those are
middle
all.
of the-
Maybe you should make it
this
20
the other day,
and
all
next to
the
that.
school builds right now. Like Lexington, Revere, Waltham, Lowell, Voke, Bristol Voke, Belmont. Belmont doesn't have a B. Arlington High does not have an A. I drive by.
W's, all right.
But
Yeah, but those-
I know,
those
but
are-
like, Arlington High School, but I drive by that. There's no big A on the
Hey,
sidewalk there.
Phil, dare to be different. Come on.
I just listen.
start
I'm looking
working
out
on
for
the,
dollars here. Like if we could use the dollars better somewhere else for more value for the students, I'd rather than two W's.
All right,
So I'm,
let
I'm
us.
being different. I'm being
No.
different in that sense.
We will get
That's
back.
okay. We'll get back
Ellen,
to you,
I'll
and
ask
we'll.
my kids if they want a W.
All right,
Yeah.
ask your kids if
I'll
they
ask
want a
my
W,
team.
and we don't
Sure.
have the designer here to defend the design intent either. So let us dig back into the archives and find out what was behind the thinking, and we'll get you more information. And on that note, I do have to unfortunately depart. So thanks everybody. We've got some work to
Thanks,
do.
Ellen.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Ellen.
Well,
Bye, Ellen.
We'll be proactive and start working on the credit for concrete and earthwork there.
God, I remember how much it was going to cost us to put a stone in
Too
concrete in
soon.
front of the police station. It was crazy. Like I can imagine there's going to be a great credit for not doing 2 Ws in concrete.
Well,
Okay.
we'll get back to you.
$10.
All right. SOV.
All right,
So did you-
next.
Phil, I know Phil was having issues. Joe, did you have issues too with that?
Yeah, I did, but I eventually, when Dennis said it came through.
Yeah. We're working on it on
I
our
don't know
end.
why.
We've all been pulling our hair out this week with this integration, but that's for another day.
Yeah, it's just Microsoft doing some weird shit or something.
Yeah, it's like requiring a Microsoft authenticator, which
Yeah,
we're trying to
yeah.
not have our clients have to deal with. So
Okay, SOV 22. PCO 136. This change was a result of a specification change for the hood that's over the stove in the Student to Life STL apartment. We had to change the spec to add a remote control to make it comply with accessibility. PCO 161. This is at the second floor, looking into the LGI room. There's a window there. We had to make the frame a little bit smaller to work with the steel column, resulting in a credit of 457. PCO 171. We had to shorten and adjust fin tube radiators in the gym and adjust spacing to work with the architectural sill detail, resulting in a cost of $1,083. PCO 178. This is an exhaust duct for the chem storage room. The duct, when it penetrated the exterior wall and the brickwork, there were some clarifications needed to provide framing and blocking to get that penetration out the exterior wall, and it included adding a cost for the louver itself, resulting in a cost of, is that the 7,000?
Yes.
It's the 7,159.
So I didn't get a chance to look. I just looked at the cover page, the backup. There was never a louver for chem storage?
There was a louver on the mechanical drawings, but the trade, the way it was bought out, that they didn't pick up the louver.
Yeah.
And they don't own that
It was a misbuy.
by the sub?
this was a contentious one. I know Dave had a lot of pushback on this, rightly so, but being a contingency item, it's the because some with the filed sub bids don't always own all drawings associated. They're not gonna pick up on a mechanical. And the louver itself was an added cost because that wasn't shown, but
So it's just shown on the mechanicals, now,
Showing the mechanicals, but
but the sub that provides it wouldn't own the mechanicals, so.
PCO 180. This was it was a recommendation from the Miss Metal sub to add steel stiffeners at the perforated metal panels at the guardrails overlooking the dining commons from the second floor. There's a railing there. They were concerned that the panels as designed would not be rigid enough, and we agreed. In addition to the panel stiffeners, there were also small angles at the underside of the counter that goes along one of the sections of the railing to support the counter better, and that resulted in a cost of $8,302.
PCO 187 is to furnish altar curbs and housing for the walk-in refrigerator and freezer condensers. This was basically a scope gap between what food service owned and mechanical guys owned. So for proper installation, we had to get the altar curbs. PCO 191 is ASI 50. It's a relocation of door C 10562A at the banking lab. This was basically we'd already submitted shops and released the door at basically the same time as the ASI, so it just wasn't be able to be picked up before we released the door. So we had to relocate the door and refabricate that storefront.
PCO 195, there's a condition on the roof between building C and D where there's a tall parapet, and there is no way to easily get up and over that parapet without adding it's like a prefab stair system that sits on the roof and gets you up over the parapet and then down the other side. It's a recommended route to allow the maintenance workers to get from roof to roof.
So there's no hold or allowance for like a design sort of, like obviously like there was always going to need access to that area of the roof, right? So but someone maybe forgot to draw a stairway to it, and then it gets built and everyone's like, oh, how are we getting on that roof? Like we need a stair. So there's not a hold we could use instead of contingency for something like that?
It's a parapet that's about like 30 inches off so you can get to the roof. You have to like sit on the parapet, stand up,
right?
hop over,
It's
but
not safe.
not great for maintenance workers in the area.
Especially if you're working on equipment and stuff.
This is a stair and a stair.
Yes,
Like
yeah, there's a platform, you go up
over the
like
Up and
4
over.
steps, across and then down. But this is being funded by contingency.
Yes,
contingency.
there's a GMP contingency, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yes,
what
right.
it's for.
Yeah, so
Okay.
no
That's
specific
what
hold,
it's supposed
but
to be used
it's
for.
kind of.
Okay.
Kinda what it's there for.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, next page. Okay, PCO 197. The mechanical design was based on a CFM amount or value that's tied to a 5-foot wide fume hood. As we developed the drawings further, we reduced the width from 5 to 4 to work better with the room layout and the mechanical design. That was blessed by the school, by the way. However, the CFM value wasn't changed in the spec for the smaller width. So during submittal review, it was discovered that the mechanical system was designed to the submitted fume hood, and we had to make a change. So the change includes replacement of 4 air valves, 2 exhaust grills, and some minor duct work. And there's like 4 large prep rooms, a chemical storage room, small prep room. So there's 6 rooms that's affected. And the cost also includes the rebalancing and the revised sequence of operation for the hoods and the exhaust system, resulting in a cost of $52,751. PCO 200, due to the fire rated glass submittal review, we had to change 12 vision panels. Vision panels are small piece of glass in the door from a 2-hour rated glass to a 90-minute rated glass. We did receive a credit for that work. And then we had an ad because we changed the frame change the frame and the door that goes into the workroom that's in the art room. There's a spray booth in the art room workroom group room that because there's a spray booth, you need to fire rate the room 2 hours. So we had to adjust the rating of the door and the glass and the frame, and that resulted in a cost of $5,622. PCO 201. This was a change due to the requirements of the new A2L refrigerant, which is in the mechanical systems. This refrigerant needs special ventilation to prevent the buildup of dangerous, mildly flammable gas concentrations in enclosed spaces. So in order to do that, we needed to add louvers and existing doors. And then we had to add a few transfer ducts in 2 rooms. And that resulted in a cost of $9,438. PCO 203. This is the removal of fire smoke damper from a non-rated enclosure and the addition of a duct section due to a coordination issue, resulting in a cost of $6,987. PCO 206 is the water feed for the woman's larger bathroom, and the men's room was not shown in the drawings, so we had to add some piping there, resulting in a cost of $6,748. 207 is PCO 207 is the digital lab. The furniture layout was adjusted and the tables were reconfigured. This resulted in deleting 8 outlets and adding 2 at the end wall to accept that furniture arrangement, resulting in a cost of $597. PCO 208. This is a water supply, added water supply for a sink that wasn't shown on the drawings, resulting in a cost of $2,996. PCO 210. This is added support for CMU wall in the auxiliary gym. This is at the southeast corner where we have the CMU runs over this little recessed entrance to the storage room. The CMU was shown to go over that area, but there was nothing to support it, so we had to add some relieving angles, resulting in a cost of $11,051. PCO 730, this is on the north side of stair D1, which is the stair right next to the main entrance and the media center. There's a bent plate that was protruding past the face of the exterior studs. We had to modify the studs and add some blocking and redo the AVB around it. That resulted in a cost of $3,638.
And PCO 738, this was a coordination conflict. We did not model a future knockout location, and there was a trap primer that was put where that knockout location was supposed to be. So we had to remove it from the slab and relocate it into a wall. So this was for a cost of $8,149.
What's a knockout?
A door, correct? I believe it was for a door for it's,
Yeah,
it's not currently there.
Oh,
but
knockout,
yeah,
like
for future
knocking out a hole in a wall or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Within the wall, behind the drywall, it's framed out.
It's framed
Yeah.
It'll
out,
be a doorway in the future.
and then put drywall over it. So we didn't notice it in the coordination, so we had to move the trap primer.
So what's the balance of the GMC contingency?
Sorry, what did you say?
What's the balance of the contingency?
Hold on.
Do we have that?
Yeah, I sent it in that email, but
We thought I saw it.
yeah, it's in there. Hold on. Then there was just there's a couple one-offs we wanted to review real quick with you. But here's the balances here. So contingency 5.7 million left,
Okay.
32% used. So
All right, great.
then I'll let Dennis run through this one. So this is another hold for Griffin additional manpower, getting a foreman on site so they can increase their crew size. And the thought was to have this. I'll let Dennis run through it because he's been dealing with the back and forth with Griffin.
Yeah, so
To get a crew designated for change orders, and I'll let him talk through it. He'll be able to explain it. So go ahead.
all right. So this is a change order for Griffin to add a foreman The purpose and the goal of it is to have them concentrate on change work. Because what we were starting to see is they were starting to add premium time and overtime for change works, change orders. And so we sat down and talked with them. And the goal is for this crew, this added crew, which is 6 to 8 guys weekly, is to concentrate on change work, but it's an added benefit because while they're here and they're not doing change work, they're also helping accelerate base scope. So removing the PTO from the change orders that we were receiving, it kind of is starting to wash away this added cost. So it's kind of balancing out, but we're also getting the added benefit of accelerating base scope like lights and power distribution and all that kind of stuff. One of the benefits is we're hopefully flipping on permanent power next week and energizing lights on the 3rd floor in the academic wing the week of the 16th. So as a group, we kind of felt it was a good idea to bring this additional manpower on to help the project overall schedule.
And this is taken out of a hold, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. And another caveat is Griffin was saying that they can only have 18 journeymen under one foreman. So if we wanted to increase manpower to focus on permanent power and things like that, they would need to bring in another foreman anyway. So we're like, well, why don't we just bring one in and focus on change orders, and then all the premium time costs come out of the change order. So it's just the cost of work. So
Okay. All right.
And sorry, one more. So this is, you guys know about this, but we finally, like, there's a lot of subs involved. So this is the central office. We have the final price that's been vetted. So we just kind of it took a long time based on comments and the subs involved. So it came in at $67,950. This was that kind of reconfiguration in that area with the new office that we talked about a while ago, but it's taken this long to kind of vet out the pricing. So
Well, where's that coming out of?
construction contingency.
Ours?
No.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't, like, we can include these with 22, or we can look at them. I mean, it's 2 weeks away for the working group. Sorry, for the PBC. So we can join them with 22, or we can create a separate one, or just look at them as one-offs, depending on how you guys view it. So if you feel comfortable with, you can obviously have more time to review too.
I don't see the 67 ones, so.
Yeah.
It still says 28, Chris.
We're still looking
Oh,
at
sorry, my screen. Sorry about that. Hold on. Friggin' thing. How's that?
Oh, okay.
There it is.
can you make it a lot bigger?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, it's
Like
200%.
Get beer letters, Dan. Needs a W.
Not even red.
Get beer.
So much better. Red way more.
I think Brooklyn.
They're too
You know
search
what?
for.
Let's go to Brooklyn Brewery and see what it looks like. It's a good spot. Just never been. It's
Big
actually,
sample,
really-
yeah.
Contingency.
it's actually a really good brewery. If you ever,
Yeah.
you gotta take, it's easy to.
I've had the beer, I haven't been down there.
It's actually a really good spot.
So,
Yeah, you can just merge these last two together, I think.
with,
You want to throw it in SOB 22, Joe?
Yeah, that's fine
yeah,
by me.
Okay.
we'll do that. Probably make it easier.
Yeah.
Come PBC time. Okay, that's it for change orders. Retainage update, nothing yet. Phase 2 planning update. Fire department, police, public safety were by yesterday. I don't know if you want to anything
Yeah.
to talk further on
I don't
that?
think there's
I think they
a-
seem to be
yeah.
in
Yeah,
plan
Jerry
that
sent
we-
along a thing about it, that the police wanted to change a couple of things just for entrance wise.
Yeah, they seem pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty minor. I mean,
going,
they're basically on board with the plan, but I
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
just suggested, some wayfinding and just corralling the kids a little bit coming down Hemlock.
Yeah.
Pretty,
Yeah. But we figured in the fall, once things start to take shape out there, we would, have another meeting or maybe just in person and kind of walk it. Just
Yeah, okay.
have a revisit at that time.
Yeah, I tried to make it, but I couldn't make it, so.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't think anything for FF&E and tech, or do we have any updates?
No, Helen wanted to reconvene the subcommittee, Joe.
we gotta
Maybe
do the technology, right?
Yeah, for technology. She was hoping to do either, I don't know if she's available next week, but before the PBC meeting, so maybe shooting for the 17th.
Okay, let's have her send it around,
Okay.
all right?
She still needed to confirm with her technology person, but that's her goal.
Okay. All right, just have her send it around when she's confirmed it.
Okay.
I think that brings us to the end.
Well, what about, Jerry contacted me and talked to Chip as well about cabinet doors.
Oh, Dave, do you want to?
Yeah, truthfully, I'm not sure we had actually prepared anything on that. I'm still waiting on some information from NEIS. I didn't know he had mentioned it to you, but,
We're still waiting
Yeah.
for the manufacturer to provide a response to our concerns.
Okay,
yeah,
and
so
when do we,
SMA is expressed some concerns on the
give a
the
quick-
longevity of the detail and where we're gathering info from the sub, basically.
and when do we expect that?
I was expected to have it today, but I got a text from them saying it will be tomorrow, so.
Okay,
But that's for us to review, then we'll send it to SMMA and left field and I would imagine, now, when's the next working group? 2 weeks from today?
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still kind of gathering stuff on that, Joe.
Okay.
Honestly, it might have been premature discussion, but.
It's all right. It's good to know if there's any issues. That's our job. All right.
Yeah,
Let me know.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'll try to send an email to. Let's see who didn't make it. Aaron, Jason, and was Mark there? Phil?
Mark, Chip, you.
Yeah, the Chip's away.
I know. Well, you're just saying who wasn't here today. I was
Yeah.
going
So
through-
maybe we can do it the Saturday after that when Chip's back. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll
just
work
let us
on-
know. Joe, we're here if you want to do it, but just let us know.
Yep. I appreciate it. All right.
Okay.
Do any
All
other
right,
new
sure.
business?
That's it. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.